Hey there everybody, welcome back to the installment of Let's Build a City in City Skylines. I am the Stormlord, continuing the series on the Lakedale mountain range city that we have created here. This is episode 3. In the prior episode we developed a little neighborhood over here and set it up for the future development and throughout this area. And we also built this other residential area along the river with this nice little court set up over here. Now, where we left off is we were going to build up onto the center part of our town throughout here, and we were going to continue to develop the commercial area as the demand fills up. Now, we also have strong demand for residential, so we'll probably build the rest of this area up with some nice low-level residential through here, and maybe we'll take a look at some of the low-level residential buildings that we have in here and maybe set up a couple nice things. So we have a couple of mansions. I'm thinking maybe we can set some nice mansions up in this area and maybe up alongside the river. Now, these do cost a little bit of money. We have some nice little buildings here that we can use. These are the Pruscanera low residential house pack that you can download on the marketplace or on the Steam Workshop. So I'm thinking maybe we'll put a couple of these throughout here and just kind of help spruce up the area. But I want to build some of these mansions because these mansions look really cool. So we could set one up over here and maybe a second one over in this area. Let's see, well, we don't have enough money to build those, but we have our first one, which I think looks really nice. We'll have to delete a little bit of these and maybe move this with the Move It mod just a little bit like so, and then we'll just delete a couple of these trees that are in the area and maybe move a couple other ones into here, make it look nice and nice throughout here. Maybe have a couple more trees on the back side of the house. So these guys are kind of secluded. So we have our nice little large mansion here. It looks like we got some random house in there. I don't know if it's part of the building or not, but we'll just move that over there. And a little goofy, but it'll work for now. We got our nice little mansion and a guy with a house in the background kind of overtook his pool area, but nonetheless I think that it looks nice. We can put a couple other mansions in here later on as well. So why don't we go over to our area over here, and I wanted to connect these roads with this nice little four-way here that connects up to there, and then we can develop a little bit other of an area throughout here. And we don't have enough money, so we'll just make this go a little bit faster, and then we can develop up this area with these small street roads, maybe with a little median in here. I think that those would look pretty nice. So maybe we just do one right here in the middle like so, and we'll make this go over just a little bit further so we can utilize all that. So that looks fairly nice, and we could eventually do the same thing with these 4-lane roads, but we don't have I don't really have it set up right now for that, but I think this will be nice. We'll try and keep this a small little low residential area or commercial area. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at what we have here for our nice little small residential. We already have our Applebee's built. We can do maybe a couple of commercial retail stores throughout maybe over here when we get enough money, and as well we have a lot of other nice things. Maybe we put a Costco in there, some Family Dollars, and I believe that we have like an IKEA or something in here. We have a nice little Saturn's department store. I think that would look really nice, maybe right here on this main part of the road, over through here maybe, or even up along this part of the road. But let's just put this in a little bit of low residential or low commercial throughout here and get this starting to develop, and we'll have this, and maybe we put that Saturn store in here once we develop a little bit of money. Now we're still getting some strong demand for residential, so I'm thinking we can continue to develop up our Riverside area over here. That kind of is on the base of this mountain, kind of. And maybe what we can do is we'll develop a road that continues up over here, and develop on this region up here. I think that would look really nice. Maybe have a little farming stead through here and have some nice little residential area over there across the river. We have this nice little train track here that goes across the river too, so maybe we can utilize that with a train station over on this part of town. But for right now, I'm thinking maybe we could also incorporate some residential area throughout here, and we'll just see how this fills in and develops right now. We do have other nice little residential buildings. We have our higher residential, lots of different buildings. We have a lot of lower level buildings that could fit in nicely, like these small little apartment buildings. They're pretty expensive, but they definitely add a little bit of flair to your city, especially these commercial style downtown buildings throughout here. They add a lot of really cool style for your city that looks like an old central United States small town downtown residential buildings. So we'll have to wait until we get some more money for these. This is actually some really cool ones, these nice buildings, but they're a little too big for our city right now, so we can develop those later and eventually get into these really cool different mods that we have downloaded for all of this. We have our high commercial, which I believe we have a nice little Target. Maybe we could put a Target somewhere in here. I think that would look really nice in our city of a big mega Target. But again, we'll have to wait until we get some more money to do those. Now we see that we have all these little icons: not enough workers, not enough workers, not enough workers. It basically means that we need more residential area and maybe the availability for people to get from these sides of towns to get to this part of our residential area. So we could do something with our transport once we hit 2,400 people, make some bus routes for these two residential areas to get into town, and we can do that as soon as we hit 24,000. I want to apologize, my furnace just actually kicked on, so hopefully that'll turn off here fairly quickly, so that way we can get rid of the annoying background rumbling sound that I'm assuming is being picked up by the microphone. I'm just going to continue to develop this nice little court area through here, and maybe we can leave this all kind of trees and then add maybe like another court area throughout here. So I'm thinking maybe we do something along the lines of this, and we'll just keep it simple, little one-way roads until we can upgrade these to the more decorative roads. But maybe we do something like this, and then we can have another little nice little road that comes in here through here, and then again do something like this. Just make it look kind of somewhat nice. Now this is kind of a really ugly intersection, so we'll have to maybe pick a different road to use these with. We have our nice little parking garages, which we can use later on. Now I'm thinking maybe we upgrade a couple of these roads to cul-de-sacs, and these crosswalks are really annoying, so maybe we can hopefully maybe get rid of them. So we have our cul-de-sac. What other ones do we have? These, oh, we already did that one. What's this one look like? Ooh, I really like the way that one looks. So maybe do something like that, and then do the same with this, just to make it look a little more higher end area. Now we're starting to run low on power, so we'll have to create some more power. I didn't see too much in for there. That I think that looks really nice. Too much in the last comments. We just put one up last night, so it's not too surprising that it hasn't had a lot of comments on it yet for episode 2. We got to figure out what we're going to do to power our city. Now I was kind of thinking maybe we could do like an oil power plant or something. But we don't have that unlocked yet. We have this nice little oil platform that we could build. It's going to require 50,000 power, and we need water required for this as well. But we don't have 50,000 yet. We have our combine power stations, which I think look really cool. It looks fairly nifty. I like the way that it looks a lot. We have a little substation, and we also have some other forms of power that we can use. Here's a nice little substation bridge that we could develop, maybe just for the time being, have that be over here next to our other little substation, and then move it. We can maybe even move it into here, maybe, if that works, or have it be somewhere along these lines like that. But that's 120,000, so it's not really worth the decorative piece yet. We can do some nice little solar panels, a nice little solar panel array, and maybe we'll just stick that in like this, and that'll help produce a little bit of extra power for our city. So now we're producing 46 megawatts, which is pretty sufficient for our city right now. We're starting to get a little bit more money to develop in here. We have another little demand for that, so I'm thinking let's build a busing station. We have a lot of different bus route roads, but we can do our either do biofuel, or we can do just a regular bus depot, and they're about 10,000 difference. They really don't produce, or there's really not much of a difference. Mainly the main difference is just that the more expensive one uses a little bit less resources to use. So maybe we'll do a little bio bus station off the main part of our road here, and then maybe put some bus stops in here. So I'm thinking maybe we have one bus stop that stops over here, runs throughout this area, stops right here. These people can all walk to the bus station if they need to. We come over here and pick some people up, and then it'll wrap back around, and we can drop some people off, say maybe right here, or maybe even, I'm thinking right here will be a good little spot, and then again maybe up through here, and then we'll just complete the route to stop right there. Now I don't like that they come down through here, so maybe we can do something with that. But let's see how many buses we have on here. Number of vehicles, 1 of 10. So let's just remove a couple vehicles, and we'll have 5 buses right now. We can always add more as we go. Or maybe we can maybe do something like this instead, and to pick up people over here. There we go. And let's just add a vehicle to make up for that difference. So there we go. We have people being picked up over here for our nice little area, and then another line over here on the north side, pick them up for this group of people. All of these people can get picked up right here, and then it drops them off in town over here. So as you can see, we have our bus routes here. Maybe we could upgrade a couple of these so that way there's a little more room for cars to go through by making this a 4-lane road. But we'll have to just wait and see how busy that these intersections actually get. Now we're starting to get a decent little build up, and I'm thinking maybe we should have for our schooling area have some bus stops over here as well. So maybe we can incorporate this to drop people off on this side of the road. But I don't like that they have to come through the industrial area, so maybe we move the residential area over to somewhere, or the industry area. So we have 473 students in there. They can cross. They have our little bus stop here for everyone to get to the high school, and then I believe that our elementary school is right here. So that seems to be in a decent spot. And we're at 2,500 people with a large demand for residential again. So why don't we just develop our little residential area in here. And maybe get another nice little mansion going throughout this area where we have what other mansions do we have? Ooh, that one looks fairly nice. Maybe do something like this and have our other mansion over there and have a third one not enough money, but I think that looks kind of cool. So we'll just wait till we get 18,000. We'll plop a mansion in there and then let some other people decide to develop in here as well. Oh, we need more water. We forgot to give them their water, so they're good. Looks like we're sitting fairly well on all that water supply, and we'll just let this build up a little bit of money, and then we'll continue to develop in this area. But now we're starting to get some dead people, so we got to pick all these guys up. So let's find either a cemetery or some form of a crematorium. So we have our iWorks city. Here's a crematorium. It's 10,000 people. We don't quite need that yet. We're still running pretty low on money. And a lot of these other buildings haven't been unlocked yet. So we'll find, what do we have here? A small clinic. Is this a clinic? Ooh, a laboratory. That would be kind of interesting to have. Family medicine. I suppose that we could just do a regular cemetery for now, and we can put that over, maybe over in here. That might look nice, just so that way the availability is fairly spread out for everybody. So we'll just set that there for now. We can always get rid of it and move it, but for at least now we'll have someone to pick up the deceased people. Now we can already see we're starting to get a lot of traffic on this road here, so we might have to continue to develop this into a 4-lane road just to allow some extra cars to move through. So we can use this one, and we'll just upgrade this to a 4-lane. Now these guys should probably have a 4-lane as well. Actually, I think that we'll do a 2-in-1, like so. So then these guys can switch between whether or not they want to turn left or if they want to keep going straight. And then this one turns off, so we have 2 lanes, one turning off, switch down to 1, and then they can choose where they want to go from there. And this intersection might become a little busy too, so we'll just have to develop that and see what happens. Alrighty, so we have some demand that we just fulfilled up here for developing. I think that this is starting to look really nice. Maybe we can throw a district in here and let these guys all be luxury houses. And we'll also have to put something in here to so Layward Heights. Why don't we change the name of this, and we'll call this Riverside. I don't even know what to call this. What do you guys think we should name this district? Leave a comment down there leave a comment down here, and we'll change the name to whatever you guys think that this would be a good name for it. But I think we'll just call it the Riverside Flats for now, just because I don't know what to name it. So let's go into here. We don't have city planning enabled yet, but we can do something to kind of boost this up a little bit. So why don't we do well, I guess we can't. We'll have to wait till we get city planning and another 2,000 people. But I'm thinking we have this all be a nice little not futuristic, but high-end luxury places here. And then we can fill up a couple more mansions in through here when we get a tad bit more money. Now, what do we have? We have some new buildings unlocked. Now, we're still sitting good on our high schools and whatnot. We could work on something with the higher education, but I think we'll leave that for people that want to do it on their own. And maybe next over here across the street from our high school, we just add a state library, and people can come in here as they wish and do a little extra source of education if they need to, or if they prefer to. We have a lot of foot traffic through here, which is all right, but maybe we can develop something for these guys to travel on, so they're not crossing the road right here. So we could do I'm thinking maybe we just do something similar to this, where we get a nice little thing to go over like this, and then we might have to do something like this. And we'll have this go down to the ground, have this one go down to the ground, something over here, and maybe something over here as well. And then we can just drag this in where we want it to be and do something like this and like that. And that should be good. We might not even need this over here, but yeah, we don't need that. So let's just delete this one, and we'll delete that, and then these guys can move where they need to, whether it's and I don't really like the way that this looks, but could do something like that. I think that that's going to be, yeah, we're going to be hitting cars. So maybe we'll have to move our fire department here, but this just allows no one to have to cross our streets right here, which will make it a little bit easier for traffic to go as well. And we'll get rid of this one as well, so people need to get from this side to that side. They have to do that and then come down here. And we also have a decent one right here, so maybe we'll do the same thing with this. And we'll do we'll have to raise this up and then do the same exact thing. So 9, we'll do something like this, and then we can just drag this where we need it to be dragged to. So I'm thinking we'll have one over here, one over here, move this and that, and we'll have to drag that one and this one, and then have something, maybe something like this. So then we'll just make this look all nice and neat, keep it off the sidewalks. That one looks good. Put that one up there, and this one. We have our nice little square, and then drag this out and try and make it fairly uniform. And same thing for this, and maybe do a little flare with the roads. There, I think that looks kind of nice. That way we have this nice little area up here that people can drop eggs onto the cars underneath, and then we'll use our traffic monitor mod, and we'll just make it so that way these guys can't cross the street there, and they have to use this area to cross the street from either side. But that works. It looks like it's getting some good use there, which will help minimize the amount of foot traffic over this heavy intersection here. We'll have to figure out something we want to do with our industrial area, but it seems to be working okay. We're starting to get some decent cash flow in here, so maybe we'll put in that other mansion that we wanted to put. Maybe do something like that. And then we had another mansion over here that we could put in. And then maybe develop something through here and through this area as well. And then we'll just move a handful of these trees that are in the area just to make it spruce it up a little bit. So I think that that's looking fairly nice. I really like this house. I think that this house looks really nice. Really pretty architecture in there. This is a really nice mod on the workshop you can download. I think it's just called Mansion Expansion. And it puts in a bunch of different mansions that you can put in there. But I think that they look really nice, having some nice higher residential luxury houses into your area. So we were building up over here. We still don't have much demand for our commercial, but we still need more area for residential area. Now we could develop something over here and connect this roundabout to this roundabout with a road that runs like this. But I'm thinking right now maybe we can add something, maybe develop some form of a road structure up through here and have this be some plateau of some nice houses as well. So I'm thinking maybe we can do something along this line. And have something come off through here. And this will go up to this area, and then we can have a nice little region that goes, kind of hugs this region, here, and maybe do something like this, maybe. And then we can develop this area too, maybe again with something, some form of a court that runs through here, like so. And then they can develop that region, and then we'll do some nice little straight roads in here that come down. And we don't want that. Maybe come out up to here and have this one go up through there. And then again, maybe have something else that kind of does something like this. I think that this was the road with all the nice little trees. So I think that this area looks fairly nice. We can develop this to be another form of residential area. And it's only going to have a one-way in, one-way out, so we might have to upgrade this road, but for the most part, I think people will be pretty happy with what's going on over here. And maybe we can have some form of power. We got 3, 6, 11. We have some large solar panel arrays, and maybe we'll just do something like this. And then we can have a nice little power. We have a cool little lighthouse. That's pretty cool. What is this one? Some form of a bridge. And we'll have just some nice little power lines that come off that maybe head out towards this part of our city. Or maybe even we can do something along these lines. There, I think that that looks nice, and then we can these lines can also be connected eventually, but I think that that looks pretty nice. So we're gonna have to give these guys some water access. And we'll just make that, let it flow a little bit better. And then we'll start plopping in some more houses through here. And we'll want to start over here because this is where our power is. And these guys will start to develop this part of this nice little area up here that kind of overlooks into the city. And I think that this will look really nice little tiered system here. Maybe leave this part not developed and have this part up here developed, so that way we have this nice little cliff that stays where it is, kind of separating the top tier from the bottom tier. I think that that looks really nice. And as well, we'll have to create a little bit more area in here for people to work at, but we don't have demand for that, so we'll just have to wait until that demand comes in here. And I'd like to put that some of those bigger stores like the Targets and the IKEAs and a Costco in here eventually, but we're still just need to work on building up the population for our city. I think that this area through here looks pretty well as well, so why don't we just do a nice little panoramic and see what this city looks like. Now this needs a lot of work. It's still really bland and boring, but we'll do some stuff to spruce that up as we get a little bit more demand. Got everyone waiting at the bus stop. That's nice. There's less cars on the road. The buses will bring everyone to where they need to be. And that's a really big thing in these games is it's the public transportation. Otherwise, every single person's driving a car, and it just builds up a lot of chaos on your streets. I was kind of hoping that this would do some view. Well, that actually looks really nice right next to the river. But some view of these new neighborhoods that we just developed. I really like this school for some reason, but hopefully we can get a couple little views of over the residential areas that we just built. Yeah, we don't need to see the school. So that looks kind of cool over here. I wish it was developed a little bit more, but I think that this will become a really cool highlight for the city up here on this little plateau almost. And again, it really likes that school. Really likes the school. Nice little mansion area. Some houses built into the mansion, but that's alright. Because I think that these areas are going to look really nice. So I think that I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to let this run for a little bit, acquire a little bit of money, and we'll pick up here in episode 4. Remember to drop those comments down on the box on what you want us to see, what to add to the city, how we can incorporate your guys' input into this, and as well check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube page. We got a lot of content. Drop those comments on those videos. Let us know what you want to see, what you want us to do gameplay of, or game reviews, mod reviews, whatever it happens to be. Just drop those comments down there. We're always looking for comments, and we want to create content that you guys want to see. So until then, I'll see you guys in episode number 4.